Cybersecurity firm Crowdstrike gave investors a positive outlook for the year to come as it moves forward with its plans to target small to mid-sized businesses. Crowdstrike CEO George Kurtz is with us right now. George, it's great to see you. Last time I saw you, we were in person in Davos. Nice to see you virtually this time around. Let's talk about demand for cybersecurity right now, because as we talked about a couple of months ago, you said we're not going to see huge cutbacks in cybersecurity. Clients are prioritizing that. What more can you tell us about what you have been hearing from your clients?
Well, cybersecurity is something that you might be able to pause, but you can't put off indefinitely. And that's absolutely what we've been seeing. A lot of certainly large organizations have prioritized security into this year, financial year 23. And once they have those projects prioritized, it's very difficult to move them around and restart those. So we certainly saw that at the end of the year and the beginning of the year in January. And I think it really goes to the fact that security is so critical to organizations in helping them become resilient and protect them against some of these devastating attacks that we've talked about in the past.
And George, Ines here, you're also targeting small and mid-sized businesses. So talk to us a little bit about that. What are you seeing in that space?
Sure. Well, the great thing about our Falcon platform is that we cater to the largest enterprise all the way down to the smallest SMB businesses. And because it's a SaaS service, it's the same technology and it protects the largest organizations to the smallest little companies. What we see in that area is a very fragmented SMB market, and we believe we have the best technology to take advantage of that fragmentation. Even small businesses obviously are going to need to be protected. And now we've actually partnered with Dell, which we're really excited about. We announced that last week, where we're actually going to be shipping on Dell boxes for small and large businesses. We'll also be part of their offering in their managed service, and Dell sellers will actually be able to sell Falcon subscriptions up and down enterprise through SMB. But SMB is absolutely a focus for us.
George, at the risk of seeming like a goof here, I'm going to ask a very rudimentary question, which is, we know you do cybersecurity. Specifically, where do you sit in the cybersecurity landscape, and what exactly do you guys do? We're just trying to break down things a little more here.
Well, it really is a great question, because when you think about cybersecurity, it's a very complicated area. And as I've said before, cybersecurity actually parallels the slope of the technology curve. So you have to be very specialized in how to protect new technologies. We focus on endpoints, your computers and laptops and servers. We focus on cloud workloads, so any of your workloads that are in the cloud. We focus on protecting data. We focus on ingesting data and logging information. And essentially, there's a new marketing term, I guess, that's in the industry, XDR, which is really the fusion of pulling all that data together and then helping organizations not only detect but prevent against these very devastating attacks.
And George, we've talked a lot over the last couple of days about Fed plans and about the 2 and the 10-year curves getting steeper and what this means for the possibility of a recession, or if we're in a recession. So I guess my question is, in the case of a severe downturn or recession, I mean, how recession-proof is cybersecurity?
Well, I think it's very resilient. Security is, again, as I said earlier, you could maybe pause it for a small period of time and try to make do with what you have. But at the end of the day, you can't postpone it indefinitely. And organizations are looking to protect themselves. There's mandates from the board. There's compliance mandates. And it certainly is a resilient industry, which is really important. What we've seen is that budgets are modestly up in some cases, other cases flat, but we haven't really seen security budgets go down. And what's important from a CrowdStrike perspective is, as a consolidator with our platform, we're able to consolidate multiple agents. These are the software programs that run on the computers, multiple technologies, reduce overall cost, give a better outcome, and actually help organizations constrain their headcount growth, because we can offload a lot of that heavy lifting to CrowdStrike.
I also wanted to ask you about the government's new plan, where it talks about putting more of the burden of cybersecurity on companies. Do you think that that's the right approach?
I think it's a shared responsibility. Certainly, when you think about how the government operates, the government is protecting its own interests, which that's the way it works. And organizations that are private organizations have to protect themselves, which is really why there's such a robust security industry. And it is a shared responsibility. There's a level when we think about software as in general. When you look at Microsoft, there was 30 zero-day vulnerabilities. So there's a shared responsibility in making sure that software like Windows is actually safe. And also from a consumer perspective, if you're implementing technology, you want to make sure you have the best. And from a government perspective, it's understanding the threats and making sure that those threats can be communicated very quickly to the private sector.
Crowdstrike CEO George Kurtz, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.